Dave Miller in that 55. Another guy I think is going to really start challenging for wins. That 55 car is pretty good. And Darrell Blanchard with a good run. It's been a while since Blanchard had a real solid run. I mean, really, the guy is one of those guys that just couldn't buy luck.
Yeah.
Saturday night, a sixth-place finish, a good, consistent run, 3 seconds out of off the pace, which isn't really that bad considering that class. He finished just ahead of the champion Randy Barley. Robert Mercer in the 30 car, a good run for the 30 car. He got 8th place. Doug Elkins, a rookie who showed some talent so far. I mean, he really has it. That OG car, it's the Swartz with Swartz chassis. They're taking what they're learning from Norm Davis and picking brains and starting to work on these cars. That he's shown some. I think he's shown some talent so far.
He's showing promise, yeah.
For a young guy without much experience, right? Dybel, I want to talk about that. You want to talk about it? Dan Dybel's situation, a 10th place finish.
Go ahead.
I'll talk about it. I'll tell you this. If I'm Dan Dybel, that feature right there would have been a discussion in the pit area.
Oh, yeah.
Now you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay.
That was the battle for, I want to say, the lead.
It was
or
up
second.
front, yeah. I'm not.
Do you remember this?
I was so busy that night, I don't remember some of this stuff.
Racing really, really hard with the 99 of Donofrio.
Right.
Okay. Good race. No doubt about it. Good race.
Up to that point.
Where, I mean, clearly, and I say this with confidence, clearly the fastest car of the two in that race battling for position was a 74. That doesn't mean the 99 wasn't fast, because the 99 was really fast.
He was.
I mean, those two cars were moving, right?
Yep.
There was a little bit of contact, good hardcore dirt track racing, nothing dirty. Until, my opinion, Donofrio got frustrated. Okay, got frustrated with the 74 right there underneath him racing, and the track was a little rough, a little bit of contact. They down the backstretch, 99 and in the 74 broke the right front. From my angle, Warren,
Yeah, our angle.
very questionable.
Yeah.
Because of where it happened. Now, had this happened in a corner, wouldn't be a second thought. Contact, it broke. When it happens halfway down the backstretch and you see a car come down and make contact with a guy that's at this door, trying to pass him, and you break, in a battle for, I want to say it was for
I'm
second.
just going to say it. It looked pretty blatant.
It sure did.
It did.
And I think it's just, emotions. People getting, and we just talked about how even-keeled Sandy Sanders is. I don't think that was the case with the 99 of Donofrio.
No.
And I might be totally wrong. I'm talking from a fan's perspective, from where we were at, what we saw. There was no reason for the 99 to move the way that it did down into the 74.
And take Dybel out.
I'm just, you know me. I'll say it how I see it. I'll say it brutally honest. And
well, that's what we're supposed to be about here. Is,
right.
It may be our opinion, but we're being honest about our opinions.
And here's the thing. It really wasn't necessary, because the 99 was so fast. He would have been right there racing for first, second, or third. I mean, the car was that good. There's no doubt. The car was that good. I just think there was that one split second that Donofrio got a little upset, and it got the better of him, and it cost Dan
Dybel
several positions.
Well, I don't remember this incident because, my head's always on a swivel. I'm in the infield.
Right.
I mean, you guys have seen it. It's crazy.
This was about halfway through the race, wasn't it, Warren?
It looks like on this graph it's about lap 17 or 18.
Right
18.
in that ballpark, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just,
right about
25.
lap 20 or so.
Yeah.
The two highlighted colors there, Corey, are the two cars.
I look at that graph and I see Chinese.
Okay. So anyway, yeah,
but I won't be. I I can't give my opinion because I don't have one because I didn't see it.
Right.
I mean, I would have to go back and look at the video to see what I see.
Joel, if we want your opinion, we'll give you one.
Okay. Thanks, Pappy.
No, I all the years I've spent around racing, when you see something happen, you got a pretty good idea whether it was an accident or not. This did not look like that.
Yeah, it's not like something broke on Donofrio's car and it forced him to turn left like that.
No,
you know?
because his car kept on cruising and it was fast.
Yeah. So,
Which is, that's what I'm saying. It was totally unnecessary. I think it was just one of those deals where, a young driver let his emotions get the better of him, and
it happens.
And I think that's where it ended too. I don't think anything else transpired from that I know of.
No, because
So that again, hats off to Dibble on
well,
that.
and
Because
that's
I'd
what I'm
have
saying.
been pissed.
I worry about wrecking somebody.
All right.
Just go out and do what you got to do. Handle business.
All right.
But I mean, congrats to Jordan Wright. That was
That was a good one.
One of the highlights of the night. I mean, I think next to the Kronk Roberts battle, Jordan Wright winning the Super Sport race was
Yep. Definitely.
pretty darn good run for that kid because he earned it.
No doubt. No doubt.
I mean, he came through the field
It was
and
a
he
good
passed cars, and he passed cars to get that win. Moving into the late models, fast qualifier of the night was Joey Tanner. Anybody surprised?
Not a bit.
Not a bit.
I am surprised by the company he keeps, though.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Look at the dash.
Well,
Look at who was in the dash with him.
Oh my gosh.
Joey Tanner dropped. He laid down a 16.511,
yeah, look right behind him was Tomas Hunsker, 16.562,
and then you've got Superman 16.839.
and Bryson James with a 16.950. Those were the only 4 cars in the 16-second bracket.
And look at that. That's your dash.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
and your first veteran, and I wouldn't call any of those guys veterans. I would say your first veteran is sitting there in 5th with Rob Campos. He's sitting there with a 17.043.
Every week. Every week.
Yeah.
Every week has been a crazy.
Lap number 1. Look at the start of this feature.
Oh, my gosh.
And here's the thing. I heard some people, say, oh, Randy Boyd. I'll tell you what I saw in that deal. Okay? Here's what I saw. That track was watered shortly before that feature. Okay? Randy started on the outside of the second row. They got the green. They were coming around to complete lap number 1. If we have a video of that and you watch Randy's car, the car is, he's in control of his car. There's no doubt. Randy's a good driver, especially on a track that's hooked up like that. You watch that car does, and that rear just kicks out, and that car came around. I think he hit a greasy spot on the track.
And I'm not going to lie. You saw how much we had to water and pack the track this week.
Right.
Turn 4, the top groove in Turn 4 was the bad spot consistently all night long. We thought we had it all cleaned up. We thought we were going to go racing. Turn 4,
Randy's got
Yeah, it came right back up.
if it was going to happen, it was going to happen to high side of Turn 4.
Well, and Randy. Randy, we've seen him race for, again, he's one of
Years.
those guys that have been out there forever.
A true
He's got a
veteran.
million laps around Willamette Speedway. I wouldn't call Randy a dirty driver. I wouldn't call him a bad driver. I saw a car break free, and I really honestly think he hit a greasy spot because the car broke free, and before he could even realize what was going on, it was shooting down into traffic.
Yep.
And when you're in the second row and you're shooting down across the field,
Field of 15 cars, yeah, it's
bad things happen. It collected 5 cars, including himself. It caught Bryson James. We saw the 46 of Darren Koffel up on his side.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Which, honestly, I'm surprised that car fired again. I think Darren was so
Good thing
quick.
for dry sumps.
Well, and I think Darren was quick enough to turn the car off as it was going up.
I'm sure he did.
He had to have. But the car was up on the side. Steve Moore got collected at the number 21.
Joey Tanner got collected in that.
Joey Tanner in the 111, and there's your 5 cars.
Joey Tanner got tore up pretty good in that. And still managed to pull off a 4th place.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because his car, let alone finish that race, is impressive. To
With
finish in
him-
the top 5,
Right.
unbelievable.
And on the lead lap as well.
Yeah. Heavy damage to the 111.
Let's see. He says here, I said this earlier, but let me reread it. Broken right front spindle, lower upper strut, bent tie rod, and 2 bent ball joints.
That's
And
a whole corner track.
Yeah.
that
absolutely.
right front was destroyed.
Everything.
And for that car to be ruined in the right front,
Yeah.
and still,
And the way
finish
those cars,
fourth.
yeah,
yeah, that's saying something.
it is.
I mean, you think about it, those X Factor cars, the generation that Joey has, are very similar to a Rocket front end.
Mm-hmm.
Did he break a shock or a strut?
He does. He said he broke a strut.
Okay, so that's easily $2,500 in damage right there, easily.
Well, and that's unfortunate because Joey has been.
How do you read that?
With
He's
my
been
eyes.
fast. And another impressive
It's in Braille.
run was if you look at the 13 of Bryson James finishing third after getting caught up in that wreck,
and
they duct taped that entire front side of the car together.
Well, they did on Koffel's car too.
Yeah.
I mean, there were guys running around with duct tape noses. I mean, really, the bad luck out of that whole wreck was Dan Dybel. He was the only one that didn't continue.
Right.
What was the extent of his damage? Anybody know?
It was on the left side. I
It was
remember that.
mostly sheet metal and cockpit.
Yeah, I remember it was on
It
the
was-
left side because he was towards the front of that whole
He
thing.
was the very first car towards the flag stand, and when Koffel went up on its side, who was in the middle? Bryson was in the middle, up towards the front of Dybel's car, but the rear spoiler from Koffel's car actually came into the cockpit of Dybel's.
Wow.
I mean, when we were clearing that crash, we actually had to pull sheet metal away from Dan so he could drive it off the track.
Wow.
Now, it was one of the stickers. I want to say it was one of the headlight stickers.
It was the Chevy badge.
the Chevy, yeah, the Chevy badge
sticker.
Yeah, from Koffel's nose.
Yep.
Was actually it slid off and peeled right onto the side of Bryson's car.
Wow.
and it stuck there.
It stuck. Yeah, it was like someone walked up and slapped it on the side. I mean,
I know when Bryson was coming out of off turn 4 and hit those bumps, both sides of the sheet metal on both sides of his car made it look like it was trying to fly, like flap its wings. You know,
that whole body was just bouncing.
Yeah.
I mean, like
no air
it was
left.
it was amazing. He did as well as he did. You know, with the way things were.
We saw a lot of torn up equipment.
That was
unfortunate. You know,
And it's a combination, not just that wreck, but it's a combination of things. You got a lot of fast guys. The track had some speed in it.
had a lot of speed.
The track had a lot of speed. The problem with that is, with the weather patterns that we've had this year and how soft that track is underneath, they just can't get the thing smooth right now.
Yeah,
now, I think with the temperatures we had now, I think we'll start seeing that different. But up until now, I mean, I would be out there ripping that track up. I'd be getting as much moisture out of that thing as I possibly could.
aerating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd get a disc grader on that thing and tear it up.
that's what Jerry's been doing too. Has been rolling it up. But then last week we got rain during the middle of the week.
Right.
So
That's what I'm saying.
All effort
it's,
was.
It's not
none.
for lack of effort and track
Right.
prep. It's been weather
Mother
patterns
Nature.
has not helped.
Look at the water table. The water table is so high right now. This is the wettest spring on record we've had.
Ever.
Shasta's full. Detroit's full.
Yeah.
We've had a lot.
Water truck's full.
We don't need a water truck. You don't need a water truck when it's this soft. But
I know it really is. I mean, oh man, getting a smooth track right now, it's going to be difficult.
well, I think from here out it'll probably be all right with the temperatures we saw in the 90s, yesterday, and it didn't rain today.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Too bad we don't have a race this weekend.
I know. Well, so
we
man.
got some monster trucks we're going to play with.
That's right.
well, I'll be out of town.
I won't.
You guys can go play those monster trucks.
I think I'll go to Cottage Grove.
Well, you're going to cover that race for us.
Yeah.
Good job there, Warren. Thanks for stepping up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See if I can remember to take my phone this time.
Yeah, because I think Joey's still a little upset with you.
Yeah.
We've been on the air for a while. We're going to go ahead and go into our second break here at 8:17 from the Northwest Dirt News in the Jetstream Aqua Massage Studio. We'll be right back in about 6 minutes.
Archer Floor Coverings has been a family-owned and operated business since 2000. Archer Floor Coverings provides free estimates and specializes in multiple types of floors, such as carpet, vinyl, laminate, and hardwood. They have the entire Willamette Valley covered from Albany to Eugene and over to the Oregon coast. Archer Floor Coverings is serious about their work. They do all installations themselves. No subcontractors are ever used. Come see the beautiful showroom at Archer Floor Covering, 3775 Olympic Street, Springfield. From sales to installs, we can do it all. Archer Floor Covering, where your floor becomes our business. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 541-747-2608. Again, that's 541-747-2608.